All right, so I'm going to be switching screens here, but I was provided a basic rent roll, tax assessments. We have a financial package here of, this is the first time I'm looking at this, so I haven't done any of this at all. So I got a one-pager financials for 2017 through 2021. Then I have a profit loss statement. This is a very basic P&L for 2021. So I have a trailing 3 years, because usually when you go through due diligence, you're going to say, hey, I want your last 3 years of historical income. So here's what it is. 2017, the actuals, this was their actual gross rent NOI. So see, this looks kind of normal, but why is it trending down and then spike back up? You know, what's been going on? COVID, we get it, 1920, so that makes sense. Now it's going up. So whatever, there's just little things to look at, but we're underwriting a deal. Our coach and mentor gave us, it's a smaller 10 unit deal. And this is all the information. So 2021, again, the tax assessment. What was this one for? Is that the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. I don't know. My tax bill for 2021, can't really see that. So, but basically, really all you need, the two main things for any deal is an updated rent roll, shows the breakdown of, this doesn't have a unit mix, so I don't even know how many one bedrooms this is. So there's still some info, but most importantly, the lot rent. Okay. And I can always ask questions on the rent roll. So,
You said lot rent, right?
or lot rent, I meant. I was just talking about mobile home parks. Yeah. Monthly,
rent.
yeah, monthly rent. Mobile home brain. Okay, so if you go to the model, the financial model, we're going to be, I'm going to share this screen now. Delete the template. So delete everything that's in, because this will mess you up. Like this.
You might want to just put 0 there instead of deleting it. 'cause it might
Right. So
be-
then, you know, yeah, put a 0 there. The rates, let's just see here. This is going to be a 10 unit. So we know that. Purchase price, we're going to put out $1 million. Oh. And if you don't know the purchase price, if you're trying to do an evaluation for an owner, you're not going to know the purchase price, because the net income divided by the market cap rate is going to give you this number. So you might not have that number. We don't know what kind of CapEx we have yet. We don't know what kind of closing costs. So right now, to get into this, you need $1 million, unless you're financing, which now loan amount 75 LTV. We're seeing rates tick up a little bit. I'll go 4.25. Origination date. Let's put today's date of 4/1/2020. It's really the 2 years behind. So we're really on the 5th, but 30-year AM, 10-year, 3-year IO. It's pretty good. All right, so make sure you clean this. So I don't know these. I don't know these. So I'm going to, is there a formula for this? No, it's not. So
I
I'm
don't
going,
know if it goes into the next.
this has a formula. It doesn't feed in from the other one. For right now, because I don't know, I'm just deleting this. These have average lease. Okay, these don't have, I don't know the unit mix yet. Shoot. So prep your sheet. This is going to take a while because the sheet wasn't prepped, but this is what you're going to have to do anyway. So this, just wait on this because we don't know yet what it's going to be. Cap rate, we don't know the market yet. So, all right. So once you prep this sheet, let's see, year 3 on the refi, they're going to do an 80% cash out refi value. We don't know yet. That's pulling in from a different side. All right, so let's go to pro forma. We're going to delete all of these. We'll make 0. Okay. And don't just delete it because you might be deleting the formula. So put a 0. That was a good suggestion. All right, so now let's see, cap reserves. Oh, this didn't. 0, 0. There we go, 0. Per unit, I don't know why. Oh, he just filled these in per unit. So these are pretty good rule of thumb for larger assets. So payroll, I'm taking that out, 16 per unit. Repairs and maintenance. We still have. Okay, there we go.
You put a 0 and like pull it across, does that work?
Probably. Capital expenditures, we're just zeroing out everything here. All right, so all we have right now is a senior loan debt of 31,000 because this is pulling, you see the formula up here is pulling from what we plugged in right here. We plugged in the loan down here. So the debt coverage ratio on 750, this is interest only too for 3 years. So if you go if you want to check your math, 750,000 divided by 4 1/4 is 31,875, which is your number right here. So that just, you can double check your work.
Say it again.
So if you're right now, this is an interest only loan. So $1 million, this is your initial financing. Your $1 million on your calculator times 0.75 gives you what you're actually financing from the bank, which is C19, 750 your loan amount. It's an interest only, IO is interest only years for 3. So the term is going to be an interest only at 4 1/4. So if you multiply 750 times 0.025, 4 1/4, the payment, that tells you the annual payment, your debt service. So now if you go back to the pro forma tab, you're going to see your debt service. It's under the NOI, right? So your debt service is going to be here. So see the 3 years IO, that's going to be your payment. So then it'll show your net cash flow down here, right? This is your net cash flow. Get it? So now though, this loan, senior balance 750, you can do a refi. We don't know the valuation yet, so we're going to come back to this. Total, let's see, premium, bam, bam, bam. So I don't know why, oh, proceeds. So it's going to be I see, it was an 80% cash out. So, all right. So now what we're going to do is go back to the tab of, we're going to start plugging in the current financials, 2021, because that's all we have. So I'm going to underwrite exactly what the seller has here. This is his operating expenses. It looks very light. He doesn't even have a manager in there. So, oh wait, I don't think you guys can see this. What I'm looking at here is the sheet. So we're going to start plugging this into the financial model. So I'm going to be referencing this screen, and I may plug in the average. I forgot how to do the weighted average here because I don't know the unit mix. So I'm not going to even do that yet. All right, so you won't be able to see both screens on here, but what I'm going to do is just go back to the model. And what I'm going to be doing is plugging these in the trailing 12 months. So because this is all of, projected 2020, actually 20. Oh, projected. So
Mhm.
that was the pro forma, huh? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go back to, I'm gonna go back to 2020. So I'm gonna be plugging these numbers in. 2020, yeah, projected. We can't go off projected. So I'm gonna do 2020 in the, which is
The
gonna
whole
be in the
sheet is
trailing.
protected.
No, just this column right here, 20,
No,
yeah,
you
this one, yeah,
No,
this
but
is,
all of it,
yeah,
that's why it's kind of light.
yeah.
But if you look at the NOI, it says 69. And even though it's kind of light, it's.
Yeah, it doesn't even match up. So it doesn't even match up to what they sent him here. So I don't. See, this is what, if you look through these, you're gonna find different stuff. So what we're talking about right now is the NOI here for 2021, the projected here shows 56. So what happened? Right here, it says NOI is 69. So clearly somebody's off.
They added something like the washer and dryer.
Yeah, this looks more realistic because now they still don't have a managing expense, but it's okay. What we're gonna do is go off 2020. We're not gonna go off the projected. Because contract labor, because this is actual, we want to go over the actual figures. So year one, we'll use year one as the projected and do our. So, okay, I'm going to reference this sheet and plug them in. I'm going to hop back to the model and just start plugging and playing. So, all right, so 2020, I'm going to save this sheet real quick. What's that? What's that?
One and done.
This is a Maryland deal. 10 unit. I'm gonna save this in the multifamily coach. Underwriting exercise. All right,
Can you condense that just so you can see like the trunk top and the sheet?
maybe, might. I can try. So, shoot.
You can do that, you just got too close to the top.
I can do it. All right, so since we're just using this, Jenna said, can you drag it over here? I should be able to. Oh, God. Okay. So here it is. I don't even know if they can see this on our should. It's on one screen, so it should show. Well, anyhow, you should be able to see both on the same page now. So what I'm going to do, trailing 12, I'm writing of 2020, right? 2020. And then year one is going to be projected for 2021. Okay. So, oh geez. Man. Okay, year one, and then year one, 2021. There we go. Okay. All right, so market rent is washer and dryer. So it's kicking off a little bit of income. So the trailing 12 is again 2020. We're going to put in 98705. Bad debt. Oh, so here real quick, just so I can change these values. This is pulling in 0.01. It's giving a 10%. vacancy. So he's saying there's 0 vacancy. So I got to put that in here, 0 times 0. Okay, so 0. $98,705. I don't know why it's not showing down here. It should be showing down here. I don't know why this is not pulling through. -10, 0. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. It'll figure itself out. So there's 503. It's not showing. I don't know. This is a little worrisome. I'll fill this out and make it work. Expense margin. I'll make it work. I'm not too concerned about it. So there is no vacancy. So vacancy 0. Rent increase, you did 3% annual. Expense increase 3%. Concession bad debt 0. That should be 0. I don't know why that's pulling. Where's that pulling from? .01 minus
It
C12.
might be, did you go to the deal summary?
Yeah, but that's all right. I can redo the formulas, but I don't know why it's acting up. So anyhow, 98,705, and then 534 is the additional income from the washer dryer, 0 vacancy. Total revenue should be 99. So gross rent should be, so now I got to build out the formulas here. So sum equals 1 sum so it's C. So it's C plus this is really frustrating. Okay. Equals sum C12 plus C15 equals, okay, 99,239. See that? 99,239, 99,239. I'm having to build out these formulas, but this should populate, boom. So now there's no vacancy, fixed expense. All right, so let's start our marketing and advertising right here. Marketing is 184. Oh, now the expenses are hitting, okay. Contract labor, so contracts, they said 8,800. 800. Repairs and maintenance, or let's go down the list. So contracts are general administrative. That would be could be admin, general administrative, right? Admin professional fees is 2235. Utilities is up here under fixed expenses. So just to break this down real quick, controllable expenses you can control for the most part. So like repairs and maintenance, you can put in better quality to have those repairs less frequent, right? You can control your payroll by being more efficient with who you hire, or having who you hire be more efficient so you don't have to overhire, or you can control, right? The turns, turning of units. So if you have to renovate an apartment, instead of having to just get random quotes, if you have a contractor that you give their business, maybe he eliminates some of those. So you can control these. Fixed expenses like utilities, those sometimes you can control well, you can, right? Busted pipe, whatever. But for the most part, that's what it is. That's fixed. You can't really control that too much. Taxes, not controllable. So this was 14,805. I don't see a management company, but supplies down here, I didn't see supplies. So you can always add that as a controllable expense. Insert, we'll just make our own supplies. Supplies, put 2432. Utilities is 14,805 so far. We got everything. So repairs and maintenance, that's up here. And that is 2432. And then landscaping, we need to add that. Landscaping's somewhat controllable. Landscaping, what did they say? 2,200. 2,200. Okay, so now we got recycling. That's
2,200. I see 355.
what? Oh, that's landscaping. Where is there two of these? Repairs and maintenance is, repairs and maintenance is 22. Oh, you're right. You're right.
But the landscape.
You're right. So landscaping is 355, which that seems light. Dang, 355. We spend that on a month.
But if you look at the other ones, they're higher.
Now, 1 second. This is 2020. So make sure you're looking out for if this was a snapshot of 10 months of expenses. Where did you see that?
The rent roll. That's what I was referring to.
10 months.
Well, do you see it says as of 10/1/21? But I didn't know if that what we were looking at.
No, but that was a good catch. So Jenna saw this and said, oh, this was only 10 months. In the rent roll, doesn't really matter unless this was, you wanted an updated rent roll. Clearly, this is an updated. We're just we're just pretending this right now. We are in October, or we're assuming we are in 2020 still. Looking at end of 2020, and this projection would be this. So
that
doesn't matter.
That's the
12
months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have what we have, but that does happen. So, and what we're talking about is if there was 10 months of this data, we would have to multiply it by 12 and then divide it by 12, or divide it. If it was 10 months, you divide it by 10 and then multiply it by 12. And that gives you the annualized average. We don't have to go there today, but that was a point I remember you said I couldn't figure out, but it was the rent roll that's not it. So it's okay. It was a good catch. So, all right, we cleaned up that. So now we have admin and professional fees. We got our utilities. We got recycling is, let's add recycle. Recycle is, how much is that? 600. And real estate taxes up here, we cannot control those. And then we got insurance, which you can trim up insurance if you don't want certain coverage, or you can shop around, but for the most part, that's a fixed expense. So 2886. So now our total expense should be on match up 46,816. Then you look up there, 48,860 or 46,816. See, it matches both. Boom, boom. All right. So now, see, this formula is jacked up because what it really should be, the cap rate, see, these values are off. It should be C16. C16 minus C29 minus C41. So that should be the, yeah. So now the net income, see, that's a formula bar. So you shouldn't have to be doing this, but you are going to have to if it's jacked up, or if you're creating your own template.
Did you do that?
So the formula, I just looked up here and see this was off. The formula bar was saying it was subtracting different. It wasn't subtracting the right income and expense. So, okay, you follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So like this expense, all you have to click down here and the formula will tell you. So what the net operating income is income, the rents, minus the expenses, but this broke it down twice. So it subtracted the fixed expenses and the controllable expenses, right? And then there's the net. So the NOI is 52,423. NOI is 52,423. Okay. So now we save. So we did that. So it's a 5 cap at $1 million. 5.2, and how we figured that out. And Maryland's a 5 cap market, so that's probably accurate. But if we didn't have the pricing guidance of $1 million, what you would do is go NOI 52,423, and you would find out the market cap rate. The market, if it was a 4.5 cap, you divide that net by a 0.045. And the offer or evaluation, if you were trying to earn the Senate, would be 1.165. And you would tell the seller, hey, we're going to take this out at a 4.5 cap, but it most likely will end up trading at just above a 5, which means in a dollar figure, meaning we're going to take it out to market at a 1.16, which is a 4.5 cap. It'll probably sell at a 5 cap, which is $1 million. You get it? Sort of. Okay. Once you understand that, you're set, because you will know how to evaluate anything. So I'm going to just say that one more time, slower. The reason this says a 5.2 cap is because we plugged in here $1 million. We had the pricing guidance, but watch this. If we didn't have the pricing guidance, oh, it's not feeding through that one.
You might have it somewhere else.
Oh, it's in the other one.
Right there.
Yeah, so what it is, yeah, see, it won't even read. So if we didn't have this pricing guidance that we do, is you would take the NOI, forget the 5 cap. You would look up around Maryland, what 10 to 20 units, 30 units, what are they trading for in that market? If you said 5 cap, it's a 5 cap market, meaning the sales, the actual sold properties are trading at a 5 cap. Or no, let's say this, let's go backwards. Let's pretend we're buying this and say, hey, we want to buy this at a 6 cap. We want to buy this at a 6 cap. Maybe there's no shot in hell, but we want, what price would that be at a 6 cap, right? We were getting debt at 4%. We want a 2% spread. So a 6 cap is our number. We would take 52,423 and divide that by a 6 cap. 52,423 divided by 0.06. And that would mean for us to get a 6 cap on this trailing 12 income is 873,716. Okay. Now we have the pricing guidance. So we know it's $1 million. So guess what? If you divide 52,423 divided by $1 million,
Well, guess what you get? 5.2. Okay. You understand? So I'm just saying when you're talking to sellers, you can, if they want to know what is my building worth, you don't have that pricing guidance. You just know the market because maybe it really is a 5.2, but you tell them, hey, I'll take this out at a 4.5 cap. So then he's gonna be like, well, what does that mean? Well, how much is that? So then you just go, well, if your true net's 52,423, and we want to be aggressive and put it at a 4.25 cap rate, this is a 1.2 million that we're going to list it at. But then manages expectations that he's probably really going to get closer to a 5 cap, 5.2, which is $1 million. Okay. Now, the pro forma is different because if you're adding income, that's what we're going to get to right now. So we did the first column of what the actuals are. Now we're going to do our pro forma. Okay. 2020 financials. Let's see if the income makes it 107,604. 107,604. So the income is right on year one. 107,604. Okay. Other income is 834. Okay. So that's feeding through. They're not putting vacancy, but you know what? We're going to write it as there's a vacancy because let me see here. 89, 70 times 12, 107,640. So if you multiply all these units, if this was 100% full, which it might be, but the banks will not ever, if you're 100% full and the bank is underwriting it for a loan for you, they're going to put at least 5% vacancy in. They might do 10, but probably 5 if you're 100%. So this guy, look what he did for his projection. If this was a broker, he didn't do it right because look at this, 89,970. If this was full, this was fully occupied. You annualize that, it's 107,640. 107,640. 107,640. How did I? Maybe they did a typo. 8,970 times 12. Yeah, I got a different number. So that's a different number that's wrong. And maybe this is a test, but we're figuring it out. So I'm putting in here 107,640 because that's the potential gross rents. But what they failed to do in this pro forma is put an expense in or vacancy. See how there's 0 vacancy? That's wrong. So what we're going to do, because we're good brokers, is we're going to put in, this is a, what does this say? D16 times D7. Yeah, that's right. So 5%, bam. See that? It's already in there. Bad debt though, we don't need to do bad debt. We're just not even going to underwrite bad debt. Bad debt though, just for a little lesson, bad debt is income that, or it's rent that hasn't been paid. So if 2 of the units are back, like if 2 of the rents, if 2 of the rentals haven't paid for 2 months and it's $1,000 each, okay, that's $4,000 of bad debt because you have 2 units, it's $1,000 each. That's 2,000 times 2 months. 2 months at 2 tenants, $4,000. So if you had $4,000 of unpaid rent, that's classified as bad debt. Usually on larger assets, you'll have some form of bad debt. Somebody will be behind. The eviction process is going on. So, but they didn't put any of that. So we're not gonna do that. We will put it in going forward and see this is going off F8. So we're putting a 2% bad debt ratio in here in the formulas up at the top. You see concessions and bad debt. That also bad debt could be concessions is money you're giving them. So we own a mobile home parks. Sometimes we give 3 months free lot rent. So that's a concession, right? That could be classified as bad debt because we didn't collect that rent, but it's not as bad as bad debt because that's actually bad debt that somebody didn't pay. We're just giving it to them as an incentive to move in. So that's that. Now, our numbers aren't going to match. Now we're really just doing our, I don't know where this thing's freaking sharing, so I'm just going to reshare. I might have lost everybody on the sheets bouncing back and forth, but either way, Now, if we're, oh wait, no, I didn't, because we're sharing the screen here. Stupid. Okay. So let me spread this a little bit more. All right, so we have the projected rents. They don't have, all right, so let's go down here now. They don't have the taxes. I don't really know. There is a tax tab. So if we go to the taxes and put in the actuals right here, taxes, let's see. For 2019. 12188. 12319. 12689. So 2, it's the same thing. Okay, so now estimated where is this estimation coming from? So year 4, let's see, this should be the estimated value, and then it's going off the millage rate. Oh, he gave me those. That's right. Okay. So we have the millage rate. Somewhere. Tax bill, I can't even read it. Millage, there should be a millage rate somewhere.
He did say that they assess taxes differently.
So I don't know, but I know the value could be around, let's call it 1, 3. Let's call it 1, 3. I don't know why. Okay, this is screwing me up a little bit, but
That's what.
once you find the millage rate, you put it in here, then the estimated value in these years will hit the millage rate, and then you'll know your taxes that get assessed. So this isn't going to be accurate. 0.01, 0.01, 0.01. Let me see. Did this have a formula? Plus C6. Oh, plus H10. Oh. So I see. We gotta assume, we gotta see what the sale price is gonna be. Yeah, I'm just gonna put 90% of the sale price. Oh, the sale price is $1 million. So maybe that's where.
It changed all those numbers.
Where, right here, yeah. So,
No, the estimated column, when you put the purchase price, it changed all
right. Yearly phase in, I don't know what that is. I don't know what the yearly phase in number is. I'm just trying to ballpark what this is going to be right here for the taxes. So it's going to be I mean, it's going to be similar. I would say taxes. Let's keep it close for now. Because then this should, oh no, it's not going to populate. So I'm just going to be conservative and have it go up because now, oh, it's not going to populate. It should be filling out No, the rest. All right. I'm just gonna get through the rest of these expenses. Management fee, we do have a 5% management fee. All right, so what they failed to do over here is give us, vacancies, management expenses. They gave us insurance, but some of these don't match up to what these are. So we're adding a 5% management fee, which if you look at the formula here, you can see what that is. The utilities are gonna be real estate taxes we made up. Utilities for projected are 14,805. They didn't change. So we're just going to keep them that way. And then we're going to put an increase going forward. So you'll see that populate. All right, insurance. Let's just hit all these line items because we're going to fill in every line item because there will be a lot more. Insurance. Let's say they kept everything the same basically for the most part, except taxes went up a little bit, but 2,886. Insurance, management fee we accounted for, utilities, admin and professional fees. What did we say? 2,185. I don't know why those went down, but we'll go with it. Marketing, they had 184, the same. Landscaping, that just seems so light to me. I don't know. Oh wait, no, landscaping. Yeah, why did it go from, that seems more, yeah, that seems right. So 2655, that to me sounds, so what was happening in 2020 where they only had 355? That's a question mark, but it's good that it went up in a sense, because that just shows to me it was realistic. Recycling, why did that go down? They cut that in half. Supplies, that stayed the same. Repairs and maintenance, that went up significantly. So we'll go with that. I would rather be conservative on the heavy side, unless it's just, but year one, maybe there's some renovations that they said you should do. Contract services, that was part of the landscaping. Payroll, they had 8,800. Where did that come from? Contract labor. Oh, I'm not at payroll yet. Contract labor was, yeah, so that went down a little bit, 7,680. Payroll, we probably won't. We're running a, let's see, expense margin. So a 55%, that's pretty conservative. That's pretty good.
And when you do the year one, are you supposed to really use their projected, or do you
No,
kind of?
no, you'd never want to use a broker's projected. I'm just going off what was in this packet plus my own, because they probably have a decent ballpark, but if
So
it
you kind of
looks
agree-
light,
If you agree with it, then you.
if you agree with it, you go with it. If you don't, you go with a higher conservative number. That's why, like, I would not have put $355 for landscaping. I would have made it around this, because this is I don't know how big the property is, but I mean, one of our properties, 600 a month, 600, that's 600 a month, but a small property, 350 a month times 12 is 4,200. So if this is a small, concrete, just some small landscaping, you might be able to get someone out there for 250 a month. That's $3,000. So honestly, I would make this even a little more just to be conservative. I mean, if you really have someone, I think, our yard costs $100 a month, so that's only 1,200 a month. So that just puts it in perspective, right? If your yard, you live in a normal neighborhood, $100 a month for somebody, think about a commercial building. If it's a smaller land, I mean, you got to have some feel for this, like you got to, and if you don't know, then you check, you call. If you don't know, that's a great exercise for you. If you're buying this for you, for sure do it. If you're a broker, you can still help. I wouldn't suggest you call all the vendors for them, but suggest to them, hey, here's a local landscaper, have them go check the property, give you a quote. And then Johnny will go over there and say, yeah, I'll do it for $375 a month. Boom. Then hey, this guy gave me a quote. If I took over tomorrow, Johnny would start, it'd be $375 a month. That's how I would do it if you don't know. That's the best way. So what else we got? Terms, management fee. But yes, if this looks right, go with it. If you're not sure, double check. Say insurance looks kind of light. 5 of the 10 units need a full rehab. We're going to be spending a lot more year one. So that's how you do that. This didn't show me the expense ratio, so I'm gonna have to build that formula. And what it is, let's see, D43 plus D48. Oh, there's no CapEx. So we don't know if CapEx would go in here, but divided by D22. So total income. Oh. There we go. Okay, so that's why. See, 47. So that was right on. I just didn't have a total in there. That had the formula. See, so 47%, that's not too far off. If you added a management fee for 3 to 5%, then now you can say, you know what, he's running this this is pretty accurate. And then you say, hey, it's a 5 cap. This is a 4.6 cap. But guess what we did? We added a vacancy. We added a property manager. See how things change? Right? So, but this is a real, like you would know now, hey, it's a 4.6 cap a deal I want to get into because we know we padded all the expenses. We accounted for, it could be 100%. So then, you know what? I underwrote this deal with 10% vacant. That gives you an idea. Did I add everything else? Insurance, recycling. So I should have total expense. See, they have total expenses 51, but again, they didn't have management fee or vacancy. So we added, we only add.
And what about the rent roll tab?
Yeah, I mean, you can import the rent roll right here. This doesn't feed into anything else, but yeah, you should have this whole, there's no formula. Oh yeah, there is formulas. Yeah, we'll get to that. So these should. $200 a unit. Why did this? All right, so the projection, this is what you want to see. Cash on cash. Yeah, so cash flow. You can make another, here's your cash flow. So now what you can do, there should be a cap. I mean, you can make a cap rate. So cash on cash. I don't know if we had that somewhere. Cash on cash anywhere. So if you want to do a cash on cash return, you go here with what was your initial equity? It was 250. So unless you put in more CapEx or anything, but this is just a good example. This is your down payment, your equity, plus closing costs, let's say 35,000. Okay. 3.5 to 5% on the purchase price. We're looking at 35,000. Let's just call it. Okay. And there is a tab for this, but lender fees might be like $5,000. Okay. Purchase price is $1 million. So 5,000. Escrow. I don't know if, see some, oh, it is 57,000.
Okay, let's go with working capital. Let's go with 57,000 then. So 57,951, 57,951. 57,951. 951. Okay, so now see my equities 307,951. You want to find out what your cash on cash return is. Year one, it's going to be equals the sum of this number, the cash flow, divided by, what was that number? 371 divided by that. And you can just hit that. Bam. So you see this 15 point. No, shoot. I didn't want to make this a formula class, but do you see 15.25? That's a good cash on cash return. So what that means is the cash that I have, the cash flow kicking off after the debt service divided by my equity in the deal, which is 307. Do it on your calculator. So if you, just so you guys understand it, 13,896 is your net cash flow. So after you have a net operating income of 45,000, then you have a debt service payment. The bank has to get paid at 31,000. So your net free cash flow is 13,896. And if you divide that by what your down payment and closing costs were of 307,951, did not get 15. All right, let's redo that.
Well, did the 57,000 have to do with it?
Yeah, hold on, that was not right. So D56 divided by each 15. $10,000 divided by 100. Okay. So 13,896 divided by 307,951. Yeah, it's a 4.5% cash on cash. I don't know why that's doing that.
Because I thought you did the debt, or you did the, if you go to the other town. The deal someone had. I thought you did the closing cost number.
No.
That's not what you have in the formula.
Oh, did I hit that?
I don't know, I thought you did.
307,951. So here it is. So
Mhm.
yeah, you might be right. So, because that's not right. 371, what was it? 307,951, 307,951. Okay, so it's a 5% cash on cash. Okay, so that's not wonderful. See, but yeah, so that's not great. Okay. That's interest only. Okay. Well, that's how you get the cap rate. That's how you, based off $1 million. So, and you know what? That number could get better. I mean, lenders are up to 80% now. So look at this. Watch how this could change. Let's say your closing costs aren't that, I really don't think your closing costs are going to be that crazy. Let's just say, let's get rid of some of this here. So, okay. let's say no legal, which is probably not true. Okay, 35. So here we go. 35,951, 35,951. So now 235,951, 235,951. What happened to the cash on cash? What happened to the cash flow changed? This is turning into a disaster. What happened to the net cash? Oh, I see what happened. I added a higher, I see. So it actually got worse by doing that. So what happened is I upped the leverage. See, this is what happened. I upped the leverage to 80%. So I thought that the cash on cash would get better because the down payment was lesser. But guess what? It increased. Instead of having to pay 750 or 700, you're having to pay on a loan that's more. So the net cash became less. See, that's going to change now if I go back to 75. So, okay, well, that's how you look. I mean, this is how you underwrite a deal, say if it works or not. See? So now, okay, we're spending way too much time on, but I think it is important. So 285.91. That's the final number. 285.951. Yeah. So 5% cash on cash. So not great, not a wonderful deal, but yeah, it's a 5 cap deal. And this should pull forward on the, if you want to see pro forma going forward, but the year one, this is what's really important here. So confused. So definitely going to do another one, but that should just give you your trailing 12 in your year one.
The rent roll?
No, the rent roll, you can put it in here just to have it. It's definitely a good guide. It's definitely a good,
To make sure.
to make sure the rents, because see, where did he get this number?
Just to make sure everything matches.
Yeah, projected. Well, where was his projections? And see, this is still wrong because see, 106,604, if you go here and look at the rent roll and you say, well, if he's 100% occupied at 89.70 and you times that, it's 107,640. So he's backwards with these numbers. There's probably a typo. You see, 604 instead of 640. So little things like that. But then you say, well, God, this isn't going to maybe stay 100% occupied. So you got to put in a vacancy. So they didn't put in the vacancy. So just things like that. In rule of thumb, 50% expense ratio, we're swinging between 47 and 55. So that just tells me high level, this was underwritten pretty well overall. And this was actuals. So that actually shows you, oh, okay, well, guess what? He, being the operator, ran it at a 47, but again, no vacancy and no management in place. He was probably self-managing. So if you added, let's just put in payroll, 5,000, which is like the management fee. Now it's a 4.7. See how it's the same deal. It's 52% expense ratio. It's right there in line. So those little rule of thumbs keep you on track. Like, oh, I'm, close. So that, I know this was way long because of building out formulas, but I think it does help knowing how to do some of those. And again, this should pull forward to show you the 7-year projection, but these two are the most important. The trailing 12, what's going to happen year one. And the taxes too. We need to get the accurate millage rates. Yes, plug in the right rent roll. You can manipulate the studios. This is a weighted average. You can build out here. You can manipulate the spreadsheet a million ways. And then after the refi, what does that debt piece look like? So But that's a good start. I mean, that gives you a very basic understanding of, adding in the fees you don't see. Because this could kill a deal very quickly just with a management fee and a couple vacancies. And that could crush a deal. So that's all you gotta do. And then again, once you get that cap rate, or I'm sorry, once you get that net income, if you don't know what you should offer or value at, once you get the NOI, then all you need is you need two things to get all three. So what I mean by that is, if you know the market cap rate and you got the NOI, boom. If you got the purchase price, then you either multiply it by the cap rate, and that tells you what the NOI needs to be,
Mhm.
or vice versa. So anyway, that is that.